Hi there lovely people, you've got Sammy here, and today we are going to be completing the Macy Ann square as part of our 365 Granny Square a Day Crochet Along project. Credit goes to Pam Knighton-Hayner of at A Yarn of Serendipity for this gorgeous pattern which she's designed and graciously let us use as part of our CAL project. It's a lovely floral square. I've just made a start here by chaining 4, slip stitching together to create a ring, and I'm going to start working from there. I'm going to chain 5, and that's going to serve as our first double crochet and a chain of 2. I'm going to go into the next into the circle with a double crochet and a chain of 2. I'm going to do that 6 more times. So at the end of this round you'll have 8 double crochet and 8 chain 2 spaces. That of course includes the chain 5 we did to start. So when we're slip stitching there, we'll be slip stitching into the 3rd loop of the chain so that we still have our chain 2 space between that first stitch and our next double crochet. So I'll let you finish. Remember, including the starting chain, we want 8 double crochet and 8 chain 2 spaces. At the end of this round, I'm going to be finishing off and changing colour. I would like my petals in a different shade of pink. If you want to continue with the same, of course, as always, colour scheme is entirely at your discretion. I'll meet you back here soon, ready to start round 2. Okay, finish that round. So you can see that's our starting chain. I've joined into the chain 3 space, so we've still got our chains and all our pieces, all our double crochets sitting nicely. Now I'm changing colour, so I'm just going to join into a chain 2 space with a slip stitch. That at the back. If you're not changing colour, just slip stitch across to the chain 2 space. Now I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to repeat this pattern 8 times, once in each chain 2 space. I'm going to do a single crochet, a chain of 4, and a single crochet, all into that one chain 2 space. So our chain 1 isn't counting as a stitch. Now we're going to move to the next chain 2 space, a single crochet, a chain of 4, and a single crochet. So just making some little chain loops on top of the chain 2 spaces. Single crochet, chain 4, and a single crochet. I'm going to continue that all the way back to the beginning, remembering that chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, so we'll be slip stitching to the first single crochet. You can of course finish off with this colour if you want. I'm going to continue with the same colour, just so I can start building my petals in this colour. I'll let you guys finish off that round, and round 3 we'll start building some petals. Right. Back, worked up nice and quickly. Now we've joined into a single crochet, want to be in the chain 4 space. So whether you are continuing with the same colour or starting with a new colour, you want to be in that chain 4 space. So slip stitch over if you're using the same, and join in with a slip stitch if you're changing over. Now we're going to create our petals. So we're going to do a single crochet into the chain 4 space, 3 half double crochet, 1, 2, it's very glary, my white hands, 3 half double crochet, a double crochet, a treble crochet, we're going to do a picot stitch at the top, so chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into the first loop to complete the picot. Then we're going to do a second treble crochet, still working in that same chain 4 space, a double crochet, three half double crochet, half double. How have I got an extra there? 1, 2, 3, a single crochet, and our first petal is done, and you can see they're quite large. Picot gives it a nice pointed tip. Now we're going to skip the first single crochet, which is the one we're working in. We're going to slip stitch into the second, just loosely into the second, and then we're going to start working in the next chain space, the exact same pattern. So a single crochet, 3 half double crochet, so 1, 2, 3. I'm really loving this bright pink. A double crochet, a treble crochet, a picot at the top, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the first loop of the chain to complete the picot, another treble crochet, a double crochet, three half double crochet, oh, I sense a yarn bath problem coming on. Yuck. Okay, a single crochet to finish off that petal, and then a loose slip stitch into the second single crochet, and we begin again. So if you want to follow along that stitch pattern with the video, go back around 5 minutes. You'll be at the start of this section. Otherwise, complete the same stitch pattern for each petal all the way around, finishing off with a slip stitch into the first single crochet. I will be finishing off with this colour at the end of this round. I'll see you all back here, ready to do round 4. Turn this flower into a square. Okay, gorgeous ones, I'm back. Got all the petals on. I love the dahlia and the crocodile stitch. I didn't think I'd find a flower I liked more, but this one is pretty stunning. I like the way the petals kind of overlap each other a bit. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Alright, let's keep moving. Round 4. Now I've changed colour. I've just joined in with a slip stitch into the picot stitch at the top of one of the petals. Chain 1, I'm going to do a single crochet into that stitch, a chain 1 and another single crochet all into that picot stitch. I'm going to chain 4, sorry about that, chain 4. Now we're going to do a treble into the back stitch. So I'm going to yarn over 4 times, 1, 2, 3 and 4. I'm going to fold 4 and I'm going to go through the V here at the back of our work. So working into the back stitch of the single crochet. My slippery yarn doesn't want to cooperate. Can you all see that clearly? You can see the V. So I'm just going to go through both sides of that. There we go. Yarn over, pull it through both. So we'll have 6 loops on, and then we just work through 2 at a time. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, through 2, yarn over, and through the last 2. Chain 4. And we're back to a picot stitch. So we're just building out from there. So into the picot at the top with a single crochet, a chain of 4, and a single crochet. My apologies, it's not a chain of 4. Single crochet. Let's try again. Chain of 1 and another single crochet into the picot. Then we're going to chain 4. And then we'll do the treble into the back stitch. So 2, 3, 4. Pulling our work forward, going through the V at the back of the work. Can you all see that clearly? Going through both sides, yarning over, pulling through 2, yarn over, 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 through 2, and then we can chain 4 and we're back at the picot. 2, 3, 4. Not chaining too tightly because these are the points that are going to pull our flower out to a square, frame it up nicely. Follow the exact same stitch pattern. So if you go back about 3.5 minutes, you'll be at the start of this sequence. Follow it all the way back around to the beginning. We're going to be joining into the first single crochet, ignoring that chain 1, and finishing off with this colour yarn, ready to join in a second for the next part of the block. Let's see. Right, lovely people, finished all that chain work. Just joined into one of the chain 1 spaces with a slip stitch in my new colour. I'm going to chain 1, which doesn't count as a stitch, counts as nothing. I'm going to do a single crochet, a chain 2, and a single crochet. You may want to pop a stitch marker in the corner. Now, for a stitch marker, all I do is, I'm going to pull that out so I can put it in, is use a little offcut of wool. So just a little piece of wool, and I just pull that through and leave it there. It's really easy to pull out later. Doesn't get in the way of anything. Okay, so we've got our stitch marker in. I'm going to chain 4. Now I'm going to skip the chain of 4 and I'm going to put a pop stitch into the top of the treble treble. So that's 4 double crochet. 1, very glary again. 2, 3, and 4. Now as we complete the 4th loop, I'm going to pull that up, take our hook out, go into the top of the first, pick up the loop, pull it through and do a chain 1 to secure it. And that's our pop stitch, which will sit up beautifully off this square. From there, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet into the next chain space. Skip the chain 4 space and single crochet into the next chain 1 space. Chain 4, skip the chain 4 space and put a pop in the next treble treble. So 4 double crochet, pull up that loop, go into the first, pick it up, chain 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go back into this one as we started. This will be our second corner, so into the chain 1 space with a single crochet, chain of 2 and a single crochet. So that's our first side done. It looks a bit wonky and round right now, but it will start squaring out as we do round 6, 7 and 8. We've got our stitch marker there to mark the corner, so we're going to have 2 pop stitches down each side. If you want to follow those stitch patterns along with the video, go back around 4 minutes 50 seconds. Otherwise, follow that pattern for the remaining 3 sides, joining at the end with a slip stitch into the first single crochet, and I'll be finishing off with this colour after this round. I'm going to frame up with a nice green. These chains will be mostly covered and these will look like little flower buds. So super cute, super fun. See you soon. Alright, round 5's done and it's time to turn our beautiful flower into a square. So I've just joined into one of the corner chain 2 spaces with a slip stitch and chain 4, sorry. Chain of 4, double crochet into that same chain 2 space, chain 2, double crochet, chain 1 and another double crochet. So that first chain of 4 that we did is serving as a double crochet and a chain of 1, and you can see that's going to give us a nice square corner. Now let's work our way down the sides. You can, of course, before we start working the side, you can place a stitch marker into the chain 2 space there, so you know exactly where the corner is. Got my same little scrap of wool, and that'll just sit in there while we work without proving a problem. Alright, so we're going to do 2 double crochet clusters in the chain 4 space of round 5. Now a double crochet cluster for the purpose of this pattern Sorry, I'm just making sure that I word these directions correctly. So we're going to yarn over, insert hook into the chain space, pull up a stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert into the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through all 3 stitches. And that's our double crochet cluster. 2 double crochet cluster. We're going to long double crochet around the chain 4 space from round 4 and 5. So all the way down here, pulling up a loop to complete our double crochet, and then we're going to do another double crochet cluster in that same chain space. So yarn over, insert into the stitch, remembering just round 5 for these ones, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert the hook, pull one up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 3. So we've got our long, oh that's a bit bright, we've got our long double crochet in the center, and we've worked our 2 double crochet clusters just around the chains 4 space from round 5. We're going to front post half double crochet around the pop. So yarn over, around the stitch, yarn over, pull it through behind, yarn over, and pull through all 3. And we're going to do similar to what we've just done, but half double crochet in the chain 4 space. So just the chain 4 space from round 5, we're going to do a half double crochet, a half double crochet, then we are going to do a long half double crochet. So yarn over around the chain 4 from round 4 and 5, pull that up, keeping that stitch nice and loose so it is a long stitch, and then another half double crochet just around the chain 4 space from round 5. And that's a single. I want a half double. And where my head is tonight. We're going to front post single crochet around the single, so going in, coming up the other side, yarning over, pulling it through to complete our single crochet, we're going to do a single crochet around the chain 4 space from round 5. Then we're going to do a long half double around the chain space from round 4 and round 5. And then we're going to pop a half double crochet just around the chain 4 space from round 5. You can see we're going shorter and longer to build those sides out so they're nice and square at the corners. Okay, so we're at a pop stitch again. We're going to do a front post half double crochet, so yarn over, in and out, yarn over, pull through behind, complete the half double crochet. I'm going to do a 2 double crochet cluster because we're coming up to our corner again, so we're wanting longer stitches. So yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up another loop, yarn over, through 2, yarn over, through 3. So that's a 2 double crochet cluster. Then we're going to do a long double crochet around the chain spaces from round 4 and 5. Just a double crochet. We're going to do a second double crochet cluster just around the chain space from round 5. So yarn over, pull one up, yarn over through 2, yarn over, pull one up, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 3. We're back at a corner chain space. So working in the chain 2 space right in the corner there of the previous round, we're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, a second double crochet into that same chain space, chain 2, a third double crochet into the same chain space, chain 1, and a fourth and final double crochet into the same chain space to complete the corner. So we finished the first side. Oh, that's the single crochet. Finish the first side. You can see how quickly it is squaring up. We're going to repeat that around the remaining 3 sides. Now if you want to follow along with the video, go back about 9 minutes because there are a couple of trickier stitches in there, but exact same pattern all the way around. We're going to finish off this round by joining with a slip stitch into the 3rd chain, because remember there were 4 there. So the 3rd chain, you can finish off this colour. I'm just going to continue with the green, I think, but I'll meet you back here ready to do our final rounds. Okay, round 6 is done. We're looking nice and square. You see how those little puff stitch and single crochets really pop up, and they do look like flower buds around our main flower. This is a gorgeous square. Now I haven't changed colour, so I'm just going to slip stitch across to the corner chain 2 space. If you have changed colour, slip stitch straight into a corner chain 2 space. In chain 1, that isn't going to count as a stitch, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and a single crochet into the next double crochet, single crochet into the next chain 1 space, and then we're going to single crochet into each stitch across to our corner. So we're really just firming up and framing our square, making sure we're nice and square and solid. Single crochets all the way. It's a little tedious for this round watching me do single crochets. Still haven't really recovered my speed after that broken finger. I am back at netball though. I had my first game the other night and it was awesome. I missed it a lot. It's the first team sport I have ever played. I'm 34 years old and now I finally understand what I've been missing out on all these years, because it's a lot of fun. Alright, so we're back to our corner stitches. So I just wanted to follow this one across. We're going to do a single crochet into the top of the double. We're also going to do a single crochet into the chain space. There's a chain one there. A single crochet into the double. Then we're at our chain 2, our very point of the corner. I'm going to do a single crochet, a chain of 2, and a single crochet. So we're going to continue that round. As I said, we're really just squaring up, firming up the square, making sure it all sits nicely. Look at those pops sitting up. I do love a textured square. And then I'm going to finish off with this green just so I can incorporate a darker one to really frame up and make that nice fuchsia pop. But I'll meet you back here ready to do round 8. Another nice simple round just to finish squaring off and get rid of any wonky edges we've got. See you soon. Alright, gorgeous people. Our flower is definitely a square now, and a beautiful one at that. I hope you've all enjoyed hooking it up with me. Now, our final round, round 8, I've just joined in with a slip stitch to the corner chain 2 space. Obviously, if you're not joining in a new colour, just slip stitch across. Chaining 1, again, that's not counting as a stitch. Single crochet, chain 2, and another single crochet into that chain 2 space. The single crochet into the next stitch. Now for the rest of the row we're going to single crochet into the back stitch, excluding the last one near there. So let's see, get rid of that glare, see if I can show you clearly. So we're looking at the back of our work, going through the V. If it's too hard to see or to get that into that V stitch to do your single crochet, of course a normal single crochet will work just as well. It's just giving a little bit more texture to the square. So single crochets all the way across into those back stitches. I'm struggling to find one here. There it is. Sometimes easier to pull it up with the pointy. You can see it can be a little frustrating. Alright, there we go. I think I've got it now. Probably this slippery wool isn't helping either. So single crochet into the back stitches all the way across till we get to the corner. Then the last stitch before the chain 2 space will be a standard single crochet, and we do single crochet, chain of 2, single crochet to finish off our corner. Thank you so much for hooking this square up with me today. I hope you all love it as much as I do. I can't wait to see your colour combos. Until then, have a fab day and happy hooking.